once again to the Hump Day edition of Black to Business. Hey, I have a person that needs no introduction. I think he was just on the previous show, The Front Porch. But he is my friend, my dude, my former Zulu Big Shot lieutenant. He was a lieutenant with me, my first ride with Zulu, which was in 2011.
Wow.
With brother
Keith Johnson.
Keith Old Johnson.
Old
You
Johnson.
gotta put the O in there. I gotta get the O stand for.
I still don't.
The O is in there. So Keith, if you're out there listening, but if you're not, I'm gonna send it to you. So as he would say, the greatest big shot ever. And we laugh about that because
we do.
He's a true hustler. And if everybody knows him, they know that he's a true hustler. Dog. So I'm going to introduce to some and I'm going to present to others. My friend, the community medicine doctor, health educator for WVUE Fox 8, my brother, Dr. Eric Griggs. Dr. Griggs, how you feeling today, bro?
I'm good, sir. How you doing? Always a pleasure.
Always,
Dap you up as always.
You know, when you can sit across the desk from your friend and y'all can have true conversations pretty much about everything. But I'm going to ask you about a plethora of things.
Okay.
And then, we're gonna go dive into the rabbit holes. We're going to dive into the weeds.
Yeah.
And we're just going to have a conversation about everything. So if you want to dial in, phone in, call in, you can call in, dial in, phone in. If this was Game of Thrones, you can send your raven, you can send a pigeon. Whatever you want to send it in at 504-582-9422. But Doc, let's get into the business. Who is Dr. Eric Griggs? Tell us a little bit about yourself, including your educational and occupational experiences. I know you got a lot of them.
Yeah, but I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it.
Got about 30 minutes for
I
this
got
show,
you covered.
So yeah.
Yeah, man. First of all, thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure to be recognized by your friends and be able to sit down. But I tell you, being in the community and being recognized has been truly a blessing, and it's been a lot of the wind beneath my wings. Unknown to a lot of folks, I'm originally from Winston-Salem, North Carolina. I left in 1988 and went to Notre Dame. I was a walk-on the football team for a while.
So is it Notre Dame or Notre Dame?
However you want. Just however you want to say great football. However you want to say it. We say Notre Dame. It's Notre. My grandma called it Notre Dame. So I answer to it all. I got colder than I'd ever been in my life. I came down here randomly. We had it was an early Mardi Gras and a late spring break. We had off spring breaks in Notre Dame because they didn't want us to get in trouble. No fraternities, no sororities, single-sex dorms. The opposite sex had to be out of the building at 12 a.m., all feet on the floor at all times. And these are things that could get you kicked out of your dorm and or kicked out of school. And it went 24 hours a day, 365 days a week. So I came down to New Orleans, and I guess it was late Mardi Gras. I can't remember. I just know that I left like -7 degrees, and I came down here, had never been to Mardi Gras. I kind of heard about it, and there was a party. And everywhere I went, there were people hanging out, wearing shorts, drinking beer, eating crawfish. And I'm like, do they have a med school down here? And the next thing I know, I'm going to summer programs. Hats off to Dr. Anna Epps and the med rep program over at Tulane. There's a pre-med program. I came one year as student, next year as an RA, and I ended up at Tulane. And I finished med school in 96, residency in 97, in community medicine. Did a research fellowship for a year. And here I am. Tried to get out of medicine. I'll tell you that. I got fed up. Had issues in my family that I couldn't solve. The harder I tried in medicine, I realized that there's some things that you just can't do anything about. And then the system changed. I went from spending half hour to an hour with a patient to we got 15 minutes. Now, the average time nowadays for a doctor visit, a primary care visit, is 6 to 7 minutes of actual time with your patient.
Well, I noticed that all the times that I had went to the doctor previously until I knew who the doctor was and all that kind of stuff, I would spend more time in the waiting room waiting than I actually spent that back there with the doctor. You know, I spent a couple of hours waiting to go see the doctor.
Yeah.
Then you in there for a few minutes and you be like, all right, what was the wait for? Because I was not told anything different.
Right.
Than what my partner told me.
Right.
Who's not a doctor. And the other people was telling me, hey, you can go get this from at the time Can-B Eckers or something like that. Hey, go get this from them and take this, and there it was.
Yeah. So the thing is, the missing piece was the people of things, and as people know, I'm a people person.
Right.
I'm a peopleophile. But I was missing it. When everything changed, I decided I wanted to go to law school. This went on for a while. I'd owned family practice. Had other doctors working for me. Had a clinical trial company. Had a med spa. Wife had hospice. We had all that, but I didn't want to practice. I wanted to go to law school because I wanted to sue everybody. Whoever changed this system, I was going to get them because I've been had. I tried to go into medicine. It wasn't going to work. Then y'all changed it up. So I was going to law school, and I was studying for the LSAT in 2011.
Okay.
And a buddy of mine had a show here on WBOK. Now, mind you, when I grew up, my mother had a radio. She had her TV show on WCCB in Charlotte, Channel 13, and she was a news anchor.
Okay.
And then she went back to Winston-Salem, and she was on the radio. And if you can imagine me as a late bloomer, I was a funny-looking kid with big teeth, big ears, big feet. My voice, y'all got the deep voices. Mine never changed. I'm like, I'm glad I never have to do this because I don't want to be on the radio or TV ever.
Gotcha.
Came on the show, and my boy was calling me Dr. Griggs. I'm like, stop calling me that. And I started kicking him. We were over on Gentilly. I'm kicking him like, stop calling me that.
Right.
This elderly lady called in, and she wanted me, no, but her blood pressure and coffee. And she did everything within the FCC regulations to chew me out because she thought I was going to take me to tell her to stop drinking her coffee. But I described blood pressure in terms of a flower and a garden hose.
Uh-huh.
And then the lines lit up. And then the next thing I know, Gerard and Lee and a lot of folks started encouraging me to have my own show. And I said no. I kept saying no. And then somebody called my grandma. And she said, I don't know what kind of fool would know something. It wouldn't help nobody.
Right,
and that turned into a 30-minute show. Turned into Bayou Classic. And then I got a call. Wife was doing a gala at the Hyatt for her grandmother. Wasn't bald at the time. I shaved off all my hair. I put on glasses. And I went to support her on TV. But the camera's here. I'm looking the other way. Wow. With Jerry Valancourt. We had a good time talking. He kept forcing me to talk to him. And he cracked up, and then he called me back the next week. And the next thing I know, they started moving things around over there. And the same thing, somebody called my grandma. And I ended up on TV, and that was 13 years ago. So my life changed, and I'm still studying for the LSAT.
Wow.
One of these days, I'm going to get to law school.
Wow. So tell us about being a community medicine doctor and a health educator.
Yeah, so what's interesting is I did not want to see patients because of the parameters that were in place, but I realized in losing that time, you lose time for education. And, I love telling the story of, I just keep talking. First of all, before there's anybody, I am Annie Mae's baby. I am definitely a grandma's baby. My grandmother had a high school diploma, but she was my tutor for all my classes, including calculus, AP English, AP History, because before I could go play sports or do anything, I had to go over my homework. And she said, I don't care what it is, if it's math, if it's times, plus, multiply, or divide, you better be able to explain it so I know it. So I just started breaking things down, and the next thing I know, that's the way that I learned. And I would have to do all my homework at the same time. But I realized that different people learn different ways, so you got to spend time with them. Try to spend time with them. And right. If I got family, I got friends, I grew up like everybody else did, I don't judge anybody for who they are. We're all human, and everybody has a gift and they have something to give. I might be able to learn something from you that you explain better than me. So I'd rather, my grandma said, when God gives you a gift, you have to give it away. Right. He'll make sure you get the resources you need and can do it beyond any of your imagination, but show people they have a gift and help them. So that's what I try to do.
But not only give it away, you got to use it.
Got to use it.
Because if you don't use the gift that God has given you, guess what's going to happen?
Oh, first you'll lose it. But here's the thing. And the thing is, you better pay attention when he whispers your name, because when he taps you on the shoulder, if he slap you back in the head, he'll knock you down to the point that that's all it is that you have to do is what you're called to do. And I think, this community medicine platform is exactly that. I'm 100% Well, as you know, I'm 100% community. When I'm off, I'm off. When I'm on, I'm on.
So, and that brings me to my next question. So how does your multiple platforms, because you have many, differ from everybody else's?
Well, the funny thing, when I get asked that, I don't know, because I'm walking my walk. And if hopefully anyone knows, I try to help as much as I can. A lot of people, their calling is a single focus. There's so much work. There are, 7.88 billion people on the planet, and everybody perceives things differently. They do things differently. So the job is not to go fast alone, it's to go far together. So I take medicine, and I've been through the entire gamut. In the last 30 years, I've been, he don't know medicine. He don't know doctor. It can't be that simple. Well, if you can't, and I did have, my sister is 14 years younger than I am. And my grandma said, if you can't explain it to her, so a baby understands, you don't really know it.
Right.
So I start at the basics, and then I build up in the conversation, the whole time empowering you. So by the time we finish, I've taken you through mini med school, and you can do work and go places that I don't go or know about. All you need me to do is say, like, yeah, he's right. So it's different in that sense, because I don't really compare. I really gauge on when people come up to me and they explain it back to me, or they have a question. The biggest, and it's really emotional since COVID. Things got rough. I don't know if y'all know how rough it got. It was very public every day. There were death threats. There were people showing up to my house. There were people that wanted to fight because I was saying something the opposite, until I let them know that, hey, I'm 100% community now.
Right.
And you see all these people right here? That's my community too.
So you mentioned fight. So I was going to ask you, you mentioned sports earlier.
Yeah.
So with the connection of those two, so tell the listening audience, what was your choice of sports, and what sports did you play?
So I was a basketball player. 2018, I got put in my school's Hall of Fame for being in basketball. I ended up walking on at Notre Dame football. I like those sports, and I like boxing. Interestingly, I talked about my mother. I didn't know my father. Had no idea until 5 years ago. I thought I was a first-generation doctor. Turns out I'm the third-generation doctor. My grandfather founded the National Optometry Association and was the first black eye doctor in the city of Richmond, second in the state of Virginia. And ironically, he was the first inductee into the Optometry Hall of Fame for being a community doctor. We had 36 doctors in our family. My dad, his name is Dr. Eric Michael Howlett. He actually, they're trying to put him in the Hall of Fame for basketball. And he was the star receiver, and I'm not making this up. At Wake Forest University in Winston-Salem, they won the first ACT championship. And he played receiver. He played split end. I played split end. So it's like somebody took some Kool-Aid. They took the purple and the lemon, and they make Purplesaurus Rex. Right. They took my mom, my dad, and they made this TV doctor and media doctor and community doctor and this sports guy that God put together. I had nothing to do with. I'm just here.
Okay. So this is Black to Business. So I need you to tell the listening audience a snippet of you being a business owner, a black business owner, and also your affiliation with the New Orleans Regional Black Chamber of Commerce.
So that's part of the big piece of it, is the education and the support in how to do it. In all of this, again, I did not know that my grandfather and my father were entrepreneurs. I didn't have the luxury of knowing how to go about it. The New Orleans Regional Black Chamber of Commerce was really, really helpful in educating me on what is LLC, what does that mean? What am I eligible for? Can nonprofits, not a business is not a nonprofit, get grants? What is a grant?
Right.
What hiccups should I look out for? Looking for the dip. I try not to delve, into politics. Everyone has their views on everything that's going on. I let people do their thing, but we're all affected by the same stuff. Nobody saw the dip that's coming right now. And when I tell you, when we need each other, nobody shows up for each other like each other. And that's always been my track. Whether I'm doing business or whether it's personal, we all keep your head up. I got it. You got it. Let's just keep going.
How can members of the listener audience secure Dr. Eric Gregg's fun event?
So here's the thing. You can follow me on Instagram at DocGriggs1. Hit me on DM at Facebook. It's pretty soon, starting in 2 weeks, believe it or not, you'll be able to catch me here. This is the first time I'm previewing it, called With Doc Talking, Get Checked, Get Fit, Get Moving. I'm coming back home to the place that I started, and I'm going to start every Thursday from 12 to 1 p.m. We'll be talking about a health topic. You can call in. You can catch me there. I'll be having different guests and hosts, just like when I started. The small secret that no one knows, I don't think you knew, is I have a fear of public speaking. But you learn through sports to step into the fear, and you embrace the moment.
Embrace the moment, always.
Oh, and my email address is docgriggs1@gmail.
So how is Dr. Eric Griggs involved in the local community?
Wow. That's a tough question because I try to involve myself on every level. I've done everything from start neighborhood basketball teams to educating the legislature to speaking churches, schools. I work with Dr. Mackey with STEM NOLA for well over a decade. A proud moment. I have so many, but a proud moment was, I'll mention two. One, we had a student, her name is Dr. Lamaya Hall from Decatur, Alabama. About 11 years ago, she walked into Dr. Mackey's office and said she wanted a job, said she was pre-med and wanted to go to med school. Just harassed me. She was a junior at Xavier, and she just followed me around while I was with STEM NOLA and asked how I did what I did and what I do. I told her to meet me at the TV station at 5 o'clock in the morning. I ain't got to be at no 5 o'clock in the morning. Right. I got to call at 5:17. Dr. Griggs, are you on your way? Yeah. From that moment, I told her I'd enroll and get my master's in public health. She immediately, as an undergrad, Xavier was just starting an MPH program. She enrolled to get her MPH. She took a gap year, worked with STEM NOLA, and just long or the short, she is now Dr. Lamaya Hall, BS, MPH, MD, and last year she did a research fellowship and snuck us and got an MBA. Wow. And now she's doing her residency in family practice. She came back at Ochsner and Slidell. So that's a really, really, really proud moment. And the other quick one is that we had a conversation about nitrous oxide at Fox 8 a few years ago in the newsroom, and that conversation evolved, and I supported it till it became a law to make it illegal to have the canisters of nitrous oxide because of the damage that it done. So it starts on the ground. Yeah, who you know something.
Right. So what message do you want to send to aspiring visionaries such as yourself?
So what I tell people is to listen to the whisper. There's a whisper in all of our DNA. You know, I was the kid that was always looking outside, looking for shapes in the clouds, just feeling like there's something more. And it wouldn't make sense. I mean, you playing the violin, you're good in sports, you're good in school, you're supposed to be a nerd, but then you like hanging out, you get in trouble with everybody else, but you always got something. There's a tickle. I never knew. I was 51 years old, did 23andMe, and my dad is one of my best, like if not my best friend. Like we talk every single day. He supports me the whole nine, but I have a whole family. Like I said, 36 doctors in my family. I thought I was the first. There were times I wanted to give up. I tried to get out, go to law school. Right. And now I can't. Follow the whisper in your DNA. I have a friend, Dan Martin, his mother, God rest her soul. She found out that she was an artist. She retired and she discovered that she was an artist and started painting oil paints. And could sell them. They were amazing. At 64 years old, follow the whisper and take the step. Because if you're going to pray, you can't worry. And if you're going to worry, don't pray.
Hey.
Yeah.
So praying is when you talk to God, and meditating is when you listen.
Listen.
To what God has to say. All right, we have Don calling. You're on the air.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning.
Good afternoon.
Good morning.
You keep saying, Dr. Gray, you keep mentioning law school. What are you encouraging, are you exposing your medical students to the vast industry and profession of patent lawyers, which you have to have a technical background in STEM and pass the patent bar? You know, the patent office, Henry Edwin Baker from Columbus, Mississippi.
Mm-hmm.
He was the third Naval Academy student that was black of African descent in the Naval Academy, and he went on to finish up at Howard Law, and he documented the history of black inventors of the golden age. Over 50,000 patents black people had. But we don't talk about Dr. Charles Drew was an inventor, but he couldn't patent his own invention or discovery.
Right.
So how do you promote not just becoming great doctors, but using that to go to law school for your undergraduates in STEM?
So I'm going to tell you this. I'm the first one to tell you when I don't know something or never thought about it, because I've seen all that stuff, I thank you for that, because I am going to encourage. I don't just encourage. And that's why I work with Dr. Mackey and the kids. There's no reason, if you think about it, when we were growing up, I want to be a fireman, I want to be a teacher, I want to be Superman, I want to be Batman, I want to be a doctor, I want to be a lawyer, I want to be an architect. As long as you have a pulse, there's no reason for you not to do it. I mean, like I said, once I get there, my goal is still to go to law school. Right. If you're an inventor, invent. I don't know when does it become this funnel that we can only do one thing? Your gift. Albert Einstein, they said, was a C student. So I do want to encourage, especially with our kids, the achievements. It seems like I'm finding out more on Instagram these days with Black history that I never knew about than I ever did in school. So I will work to incorporate that. Can you say that name or get that name to us again so I can do some research? Because I'd love to explore that.
The United States Patent and Trademark Office in Washington, D.C. The building has been recently named after Henry Edwin Baker. He's from Columbus, Mississippi. He was a third Naval Academy student of African descent, and he did 3 years. He didn't finish at Naval Academy. He finished at Howard University and received a law degree.
Wow.
But he documented, the same with George Washington Murray. He was the last congressman since Reconstruction to serve in South Carolina, and he documented, on the floor of Congress, he instilled Henry Baker's discovery and research on who were the black inventors and their contribution to society. And so George Washington Murray, Congressman George Washington Murray, look him up. He's from South Carolina.
Brother Don.
Thank you.
This is Edward B. Coulon Smith, chairman of the board for New Orleans Region Black Chamber of Commerce. Email me. I would love to have you on the show one day. My email address is norbcc.chairman2025@gmail.com.
One more again.
norbcc.chairman2025@gmail.com.
Okay, sir.
Thank you, sir. Like I said, let's schedule to get you on here.
All right.
All right. We're going to get into the community calendar right quick. Next week on 7/29/26, I will have the president of the New Orleans LGBTQ+ and Allied Chamber of Commerce, Mr. Daniel Ardito. Please, 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 everybody, get prepared for the storm that's coming. Tropical Storm Bertha, and everybody, if you know a Bertha, hey, just like I said, get prepared. So, and with that being said,
remember that night at Bertha's with the chicken?
Yes. I got to give a shout out to Miss Bertha, whose birthday is approaching, and she will have a birthday party at Jay's Place on the 26th, Sunday the 26th. That's Sunday. So please go out and celebrate with Miss Bertha, and everybody wish her a happy birthday. Happy birthday, Miss Bertha.
Happy birthday, Miss Bertha.
The NORBCC membership mixer have been moved to 7/29/26, which is next Wednesday at 6 p.m. at UMC. Contact yours truly, Edward B. Coulon Smith, at 225-802-9634. If you're not registered to be there, please be there. We will have a NOLA HBCU crew party train to Birmingham, Alabama, leaving from here in New Orleans on 8/28/26 and returning back on 8/30/26 for the HBCU rivalry showdown between D. Southern University, A&M College, and Alabama State University on 8/29/26. All my train spots are gone, but the train is still going. So you can get your own train ticket and contact me for everything else. I had a meeting last night, and we talked a lot about friendship. And then sitting across the table from one of my friends is a great example of how friendship should be. And no matter whether you see each other all the time or not, but every time you come across each other, it's always something good. And I would like to give a big shout out to everybody who's returning back to school. I think everybody goes back to school on next week. So in the words of my dear friend, Dr. Jerome DJ King of Bounce, Jubilee Temple, get ready, get ready, get ready, ready. Brother Griggs.
Yes, sir.
As we are ending this show, please lead us out. But tell us before we go, tell us who or what has motivated you to be the person that you are, and then give us some words of encouragement going through this storm and into the following and upcoming weeks.
First of all, I want to thank you for having me. I want to thank you for being my friend and showing a sample. And my platform is to tell everybody to get checked, get fit, get moving, and be careful. You are the wind beneath my wings, and I will continue to do so. Hold me to the standard of excellence higher than yourself, and hold me accountable. Now keep me going.
And as I said last week, for the upcoming men's event on 10/18, get checked out, not checked in.
That is.
Thank y'all. See you next week. Peace and love.